Hello friends, I made one video some time back where I answered this question which was asked very frequently by a lot of people, and that was, why do we hear this cracking and popping sound in the knee joint? Now, this particular video had more questions around, which was, how do we manage if we have got cracking and popping sound in the knee joint, or else how we can reduce this cracking and popping sound. And even many people asked how we can prevent coming of this cracking and popping sound in the knee joint. So this video is answer to all these questions. So make sure you watch this video till the end. By the way, I am physiotherapist Meghna Dave and welcome to the Health Q channel, where our mission is to motivate you to look at the brighter side of your health. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Now, coming to today's topic, that is cracking and popping sound in the knee. As I also mentioned in my previous video, cracking and popping sound that happens which is not associated with pain is something that is absolutely normal. You should not worry at all. This happens because of breaking of the gases or else gas bubbles that forms in the fluid that is within our knee joint. Now, whenever you are having this cracking and popping sound of your knee that is associated with pain and swelling, that is of some concern which requires medical diagnosis. Hence, I would highly recommend, if you are experiencing cracking and popping sound in the knee that is associated with pain and swelling, immediately see your physiotherapist or else an orthopedic surgeon or else your family doctor, because proper diagnosis is very important here. Some of the common reasons because of which you can experience cracking sound in the knee associated with pain and swelling is 1. Fall. 2nd, injury to the knee following road traffic accident or else violence or else getting hit by some external object. And sometimes if you overdo a movement, maybe while playing or else walking, that also lead to this cracking and popping sound associated with pain. And last but not the least, if you are into the sedentary lifestyle where you are not active enough, your muscles tends to get weaker and leads to this experience of cracking and popping sound in the knee associated with pain. So coming to the management side, or else how you can manage or prevent this cracking and popping sound in the knee, is with the help of this following tips. Tip number 1 is give relaxation to your sore muscles or else injured muscles or else tight muscles following fall, trauma, road traffic accident, arthritis, aging, or else wear and tear to your knee joint. The pressure that comes on your knee muscles increases. They have to work more harder in order to maintain your knee posture erect and also to enable you to stand erect. Since knee is a weight bearing joint, constantly it has to work in order to maintain your erect posture. Hence, they tend to fall weak at the same time tight, and this leads to the state of spasm. Hence, it's very important that if your muscles are not relaxed, you ensure that you give adequate relaxation to these muscles. So now the question arises, how can you give relaxation to your tight or else spasmodic muscle? The best way to do that is 1. Ice pack or else cold fermentation. If your spasm is acute or else say fresh, say around 48 hours duration old, then always opt for cold packs. Cold packs helps in reducing inflammation, also helps in reducing muscle spasm in the early stages. But if your pain is very chronic, say more than 15 days older, then you should always opt for hot fermentation. Third thing that you can do is ensure that you keep your knee or else leg in rested position whenever you have to work or else stay in one position for a long time. For example, while cooking, you have to stand for longer. At the same time, if you are doing your desk job, you have to maintain the sitting position for a long time. All this position puts much more pressure or else stress in your knee muscles. So how can you reduce the pressure or stress from the knee here is by ensuring that you can keep a small stool underneath your leg while cooking. Or else if you are working on your desk, make sure you tend to take small breaks and raise your leg and move your leg often, especially from the knee, so that the muscles are relaxed enough and are supple enough. Relaxation is very important when it comes to acute muscle soreness or spasm, which could lead to cracking and popping sound in the knee joint. Coming to the next thing that you need to do is give some extra support to your knee. Whenever there is spasm or else pain in your knee joint, the muscles work harder and your patella bone, or else you can say the kneecap bone, also tend to move in a direction where the tight muscle of the knee is pulling. Since patella bone is totally dependent on the muscles of your thigh region for its movement, especially the quadricep muscles or else the front thigh muscle. For example, if you have got tightness of your side front thigh muscle, they will tend to pull your kneecap bone towards itself. Hence, whenever you will bend your knee, maybe when you get up from the sitting position, this kneecap bone will kind of cause friction between your knee joint, and this will cause pain and the sound. Hence, in order to make sure your knee is in proper aligned position, wear a kneecap or else a knee brace, and even sometimes you can take the help of your physiotherapist where he or she can do kinesio taping for you. Make sure you wear a proper kneecap. A good quality kneecap is very important, and for that you can also take advice from your physiotherapist. The third thing that you can do to ensure that you do not have this cracking and popping sound in future, or else if you want to manage your cracking and popping sound, then the most important thing is exercises. What are these exercises? Let's have a look. Okay friends, so now let's move on to the exercise part, the most important part, in order to maintain or else prevent or else treat your cracking and popping sound in the knee joint. As I mentioned, exercises are very important for a healthy knee. The exercises totally focuses on two important aspects, and that is one, maintaining or else improving the flexibility of the muscles surrounding your knee, at the same time improving the strength of the muscles surrounding your knee joint. Now the muscles that are surrounding our knee joint are the muscles which are called as quadriceps muscle, which are your front thigh muscle, and hamstring muscles, which are your back thigh muscles. So now let's move on and see first what are the flexibility exercises, or else you can say stretching exercises for your knee joint muscles. Let's get started. In order to stretch your hamstring muscles, there are two ways that you can do. One way is keep both your legs straight, absolutely straight. Then move your ankles towards yourself, and then with the help of your hand just try to touch both the toes. With this you can do the movement of or stretching of both the hamstring muscles. See, when the muscles are tight, you will find this difficulty in touching these both toes with the help of your fingers. And if this causes some inconvenience, what else you can do is just do one leg at a time. So fold the other leg, keep one leg straight, and then just try to touch the toe. This would be much more easier and will also do the same job of stretching your hamstring muscle. You need to hold this for 30 counts or else 30 seconds and then relax. You do this movement for 3 repetitions. "30 seconds hold for 3 times. In this movement, you would be able to feel a pull or else a stretch on your hamstring or else back thigh region. Even sometimes your calf will get stretched while doing this activity. That was the stretching of your hamstring muscle. Now let's move on to stretch your front thigh muscles, also called as quadricep muscle. In order to stretch your front thigh muscles, also called as your quadricep muscle, you need to lie down on your tummy. Then bend your knee and try to bring your ankle or else your foot near your hips. Pull it and hold this position for 30 seconds count. Once 30 seconds are over, you need to just relax your leg and put it down. You need to do 3 repetitions each for both the legs. So this was the stretching of your front thigh muscle. Now let's move on to the third most important stretch for prevention of the cracking and popping sound of your knee joint, and that is stretching of your iliotibial band. Now iliotibial band is a structure that lies on your side, outer side of your thigh region. This is a sheet-like structure which gets tight and pulled whenever we bend our knee. So it is very important to stretch it regularly. So let's have a look how to stretch your IT band or else iliotibial band. So first, lie down completely straight. Then raise your leg up. Somewhere around 45 degrees you can raise, and then Bend your leg from your hip region inwards. When you do this, you will feel an entire pull in your outer thigh region. Hold this for 30 counts and then come back. Again, lift up the leg, pull inside, hold this for 30 counts and then come back. You can lower your leg as much as possible until you feel a pull or else a stretch in your outer thigh region. Come back. You need to do this activity for 3 repetitions for both the legs. So this were the stretching exercises for your thigh muscles. Now let's move on and see what are the strengthening exercises that you need to do to make sure your knees are strengthened. First exercise is called a static quadricep exercise. Although it's a very simple and easy exercise, but it's very relieving whenever you have pain and cracking and popping sound in your knee joint. So in order to do this static quadricep exercise, what you need to do is, as I said, you placed a pillow roll or else a towel roll underneath your knee. Now you have to tighten your knee by contracting your thigh muscles. When you do this, you can feel that your leg is slightly getting raised and your kneecap bone or else the patella bone is moving slightly upwards. When this is happening, that means you are doing this movement right. Make sure this entire movement should be comfortable. If you feel it is hurting, then just discontinue this activity. While doing this movement, do it for 10 repetitions and then switch over to another leg. Now let's switch over to another leg and do the same activity. This enables the patella bone or else a kneecap bone to move in a very proper way, and also it is a very relaxing movement. So that was a strengthening exercise for your quadricep muscle. Now let's move on and see how to strengthen your back thigh muscle, also called as the hamstring muscle. So in order to strengthen your hamstring muscle, you need to keep some weight, if you can take it, on your ankle. So you can take the help of a weight cuff. But if the pain is still there, you don't need to take any weight. Just stand completely relaxed with your legs apart and then bend your leg upwards and then down. Again bend and down. While bending, hold for 10 counts and then come back. Do the same movement for other leg as well. Do this for 10 repetitions. Hold for 10 counts and then come back. Down and back. Down, back. Down, back. Down and back. And the next exercise is partial squats, which mean you don't need to bend completely, but you need to bend 90 degrees. What do I mean by this? Just hold a railing or else in support, keep your legs apart and then bend down from your knee till 90 degrees. Don't go beyond that and then come up. If you feel bending till 90 degrees also difficult, then you can get up before that itself. Make sure while coming back, your knees are totally straight. Again bend and straight. Here, the idea is to allow the movement in your kneecap region or its knee region in a smooth pattern. This one is for calf muscle strengthening. Calf muscles are very important and require strengthening. In order to do this, Make sure you stand on the edge of a stair, or else you can also take a help of a small stool. Half of your foot, the front foot, should be on the stair and rest should be outside. Then all you need to do is raise your leg up and then down. And the last but not the least, the preventive tip is make sure your weight is under control. If you are overweight or else obese, then your knee has to work extra in order to maintain the weight of your body, which puts lots of stress on your knee muscles, causing cracking and popping sound. So make sure if you are overweight, obese, morbidly obese or whatever, work on your weight loss. So friends, these were some tips and ways with which you can manage, prevent or control your cracking and popping sound in your knee joint that is associated with pain. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. If yes, make sure you press that like button and don't forget to share this video with your friends and family, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. On that note, I will see you in another video. Bye bye.